Hello. Today I want to talk about the adoption and evolution of the Roman Mass in France. In particular, it's in that what was called the Holy Roman Empire at that time. And so if you notice in the picture here, I have monks singing on either side of the great Holy Roman Emperor Charlemagne, who some have called the father of Europe. Okay, so Charlemagne had exerted a huge influence on the history of Europe and on the French people in particular, and also on the French liturgy. So the mass of the Frankish people of the Holy Roman Empire, they adopted the Roman liturgy. They took on the Roman liturgy, but they augmented it. They made it even more dramatic. So there were many more processions. There was more choral singing added to the Mass. They used incense several times during the Mass, and they added greatly to the number of prayers that were said. So there might be several prayers prayed before the Mass even began. There may be as many as 7 opening prayers, the prayer immediately before the first reading. There might be several offertory prayers and several prayers after communion. There were also a number of prayers called apologiae in Latin, in which the celebrant personally acknowledged his own guilt and unworthiness to celebrate the sacrifice. The only one of these apologiae that remains today in the Mass is the prayer, I confess to Almighty God. Okay? So the Frankish Church, they accepted with a great enthusiasm the feasts of the Roman martyrs, and they excluded most of their own saints from the liturgical calendar. There was no thought at all, however, of translating the Latin into the language of the common people for the Mass. And so what this began a process that made the Mass more the property of the clergy and began to exclude the laity who did not understand the Latin language. So, even at the end of the day, even church architecture was affected by Charlemagne and the Franks. So the altar was moved to the rear of the sanctuary, further away from the people. And at times, even there was even a wall built to separate the sanctuary from the congregation, from the nave. So as you can see, the Frankish church had a great influence on the history of the Mass. Thanks once again for watching. Take care.